But everyone, thank you for joining this morning. If you're able to be here, appreciate it if you can turn your cameras on if you're able to. We've got Reagan joining us this morning and going to go over some good information with us. So Reagan, I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Reagan Nicholson. I am the California growth leader for Real. And so what that means and what that title means is that I'm helping grow the agent population in California. And what that means for you is if you ever have a question or a need, you can reach out to me. I know Gary and I've talked many times, like if you just have a question about Real, like what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this look like for this agent? We can get you that answer. And that way you can go have more powerful conversations with agents that you're looking to attract to Real. So know that me as a resource is available to you. I know you guys have Siri and the whole group here is, really high level. So, but sometimes there's questions and there's things that are constantly evolving and changing, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. So, what this has typically looked like for us when I do this quarterly with you guys is we're just going to talk about all things Real, and I want to keep it where it's not so much of a training, but it is an opportunity for you guys to Q&A and to ask questions that you may have come across as you're having conversations, or maybe just resources that Real offers to you that you may or may not know about, because it is a fast-moving target. I mean, Sharon and Pritesh and Tamir are constantly innovating and adding things to our packages of offerings. And so it can be a lot to keep up with. I will say this, we are now sitting at almost 14,000 agents, or close, probably mid 13s, nationwide in Canada. We have 2,600 and growing in California. And so I'm really proud of that because we're getting such great momentum in California. We started last year with about 1,400 agents. So we added almost 1,500 agents in 23 in California. And so the goal is that we're going to, Jason Lopez and I have this, that we always set our goals at the first year. We want to exceed 5,000 agents this year in California. So we've got big goals. The momentum's there. We've got Sharon in Laguna Beach. I'm in Dana Point. We got a big California contingency, we're very visual in California. So it's great for agents that are looking at us and considering a move. So just to kind of show a little love to California, I am, you guys have been a big part of that. It's not just me. It's not just Jason. It's the whole collective. And we've got such a great group in California. So anyway, I want to go over a few things that have changed. How many of you are familiar with the slide deck, the 8 ways to earn income at Real? Wendy, Jody. Okay. Yeah. Y'all been in my classes. I know Gary's been in the class. Kimberly Ryan, who's the growth leader in Arizona, we teach this class every other Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific. And that's today. So today's the first one of the year. That's always a great class to jump on. When we talk about resources, guys, it's the number one thing I always tell agents: tap into the academy. The academy is where you're going to find all the learnings coast to coast from all of our top producing elite agents. They've got great information and they're sharing it willingly. Kimberly and I teach that 8 ways so that you can have these really powerful conversations with other agents of how they can benefit by being at Real. And that's so important because right now people are looking for change, guys. This industry is going through a lot of changes right now, and Real is leading the charge in changing the face of what our industry looks like in such a great way. How we do it more efficiently, how we make the agents more money, how we create an opportunity for agents to retire so that if you don't choose to be selling at 80 years old, you don't have to. There's other ways that we can do it. So as we talk about the 8-way slide deck, I don't know if it would be helpful if I shared the deck. I mean, would that be helpful as we go through some of these things? There's been some changes recently. One of which, um, you know what? Let me see if I don't know if I can get that over there easy enough. But anyway, the pre-cap stock purchase plan, guys, we used to know it the 10 for 15 and the 10 for 30, the 5 for 15 and the 10 for 30, right? So that as you closed deals before you capped, you could take 10% of your or 5% of your closing and purchase 5% of stock in your closing, and the company would give you a 15% bonus. That is now at 10%. So these are some important changes that you need to know. So now it's a 5 for 10. Okay. Does that make sense? Everyone's familiar with that pre-cap ability to purchase stock within Real. So that's an important change that is just taken place as of December. So that's all new. And then, so on the post cap side, so once you cap, it used to be 10 for 30. So now you can purchase 10% of the stock. That stayed the same, but your bonus piece is 20%. So those numbers have regulated down as we have grown in population. We're going to see a settling of all these numbers as we grow, but I don't know, they've not given us any privy to what those numbers will settle at. Another number that has changed is until we reach 14,000 agents. So currently to 14,000 agents, when you cap and you're a 12K capper, you are awarded 150 shares. If you're a 6K capper, you're awarded 75. So that is now where we are in that bracket on that. Then on the attraction shares, up to 14,000 agents. If you're a 12K capper, you'll be awarded 75 shares when you attract someone into the company and they name you as sponsor. And if you're a 6K capper, it's 35 shares. So that's important. Those are the important numbers that have changed in the awards portion of that. Another exciting change that has happened, and we went into effect, Sharon announced it in October, November, and it went into effect in December, was the revenue share. So before this, your top tier, it took 10 people to unlock tier 2, right? So you'd have to have 10 active people on tier 1 to unlock and have access to your tier 2 rev share. That is now at 5. Okay. So if you have 5 active people in your top tier, that automatically opens 5, opens 2. That's pretty powerful, guys. That means you just have 5 active people. So in a scenario where let's just say that attraction's not your jam, like that's not going to be your big deal. Just think about this. 5 people that that know and trust you, that come over and are producing, those are going to create passive revenue for you, right? But more importantly, it's going to open up your tier 2. So you're going to have access, because those of you who've seen me present 8 ways, the way we talk about this was a scenario of where you could, when we had 10, if you've got cappers in your 12K cappers in your top tier, for every one of those cappers, you can make up to $4,000 per year. So 4 times 10 is 40,000. So you'd be making an extra 40K a year. That's pretty cool, right? Then it opens up your tier 2. And then if everyone in your tier 2 attracted 10 people, 10 times 10 is 100, 100 times $3,200, because for everyone on your tier 2, you get $3,200 a year potentially. Then you're looking at $360,000 a year, right? That's a real deal salary. But what's cool with the new guidelines is 5 opens 2. So you get 5 people, and each one potentially can earn you 4,000. So 5 times 4 is 20, right? That's pretty nice. Almost a couple of thousand a month. But then that opens up your full level 2. So if all your 5 bring 5, let's say, then that's 5 times 5, that's 25. 25 times 3,200. I haven't done that math. Gary, you're good with numbers. What's that number?
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person.
Then I'm gonna whip out my calculator real quick. Times 25. 3,200
Yeah.
times 25 is 80. 80 plus the 20 on your top tier, that's 100K, guys. That's still a nice little bump. Like, we can do something with 100K. You could put that into retirement. You could put that into a vacation fund. I mean, that's something you could do something with. So this new guideline is a game changer. And Sharon and Tamir are committed to all the agents benefiting from rev share, even if that's not your main focus. And certainly it doesn't have to be your focus at all. But Tamir said to me one time, he goes, we're doing agents a disservice by not telling them about this. And that includes us as a community, right? Within Real. Like, I want you guys to know, like, how they've made this a lot easier for us to make an extra 100,000 a year. Because think about just 5 people that you know, 5 people in the industry that you would love to see it Real. And honestly, guys, it's never been easier to have that conversation within California, because the agent population has grown. When I started 3 years ago with Real, people were like, Real who? What is that? So the conversation's changed. That's a good thing. But this is an opportunity now. What's exciting with this
Hey,
is
Reagan,
Sharon is offering. Oh, Gary, do you have a question?
I do, but it's an older one. If you want to finish your thought, I do
No,
have
go ahead. I'll pick back
and I
up.
apologize. I just don't want to forget this. So most of us are either, because we're on a team, are the 4K cap or a 12K cap. And by the time their anniversary date comes, probably most people are going to go to the 4K, because we changed the way the benefits of 4K versus 12K for us,
Okay.
as far as marketing, having our logo and all that. So when you were mentioning earlier, like if you have a 6K and you would be if you, what was it, you brought somebody in, you'd get a bonus of a certain amount of shares or whatever. How does
That's
that
right.
apply to 4K, or do they just do the math differently? I don't know.
Okay, so that's a good question, Gary, and thanks for bringing that up. So, like, in what you're talking about is your attraction shares. So in a 12K cap situation, when they come in, it depends on how they come in, right? So don't think so much about you. So you could be a 4K capper, right?
Right.
It depends on how the person you attract comes in.
Let's say they come in at 4, because a lot of our agents,
Okay,
bring people, they're like, you want to join our team because we've got this, that, and the other, and it's exciting, blah, blah, blah. So yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
so that
enough.
would probably, I would think the best scenario, I would think most would agree on this. I don't know. Can't speak for everybody, but
That's right. Okay, so that'll make it easy. So let's say that you're a 4K capper and you attract someone in and they join under you and you're sponsoring them and they cap at their 4K cap. They're a 4K capper and they cap.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter actually if they cap, but let's just say you bring them in as a 4K capper and they do their first production piece that generates a $2,500 GCI, right? That's going to be the trigger point. When they join, they don't automatically trigger your awards. They have to do a production piece. When they do the production piece, then you're going to be awarded your attraction shares. Gary, to your point, the 6K is 35 shares. The 4K goes to 17 and a half. It drops by half.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
if you're a 12K, you're going to get, if they're a 12K capper, you're going to get 75. Okay. So guys, it depends on you as the 4K capper, this is important to remember. Your rev share, your attraction awards are based on what they come in as, right? And if they're coming, you could be a 4K capper and they could be a 12K. It changes it, right? It can benefit you. You're not held into the 4K just because you're 4K. Does that make sense, Gary?
Yeah. So if I got this right, let's say I'm 4K, I bring somebody in and they decide to just join Real, not our team. They're a 12K capper. I would get 75 shares.
That's correct. That's
Perfect.
correct. They're a 12K capper. They do their first production piece. Then those 75 shares are going to come to you. And here's the caveat. There's a 3-year vesting period with those. So both you and your person that you brought in have to be with Real in 3-year, at that 3-year mark and in good standing.
Got it.
So that's the caveat there. But yes, that it doesn't, the share amount depends on their capping status when they come in.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, so any other questions on that while we're right here with the capping situation? So we'll talk about that a little bit before I go on to what Sharon's offering. If the majority of you are a 4K cap and you bring in other 4K cappers, then your rev share tiers down. So like, let's say if I had a 12K capper in my top tier, they're going to potentially earn me up to 4,000, correct? A year. If they're a 6K capper, that drops into half. They're gonna potentially bring me up to 2. If it's a 4K, they're gonna bring me potentially 1,000. Okay, so it goes by half. So if that's the case, just know that if however you bring that person in, but you could be a 4K capper and bring a 12K in, and you'd still be eligible to get up to 4K, right? So it just depends on where. Does that make sense to everyone? I know that there's a lot of numbers here. Okay. Okay, cool. Jumping ahead where we went back, with the getting 5 people and Tamir and Sharon's commitment to getting everyone to 5. Sharon's offering a attraction accelerator class, and you can look in the academy to get the dates, but it's only open to those who have 4 or less in their top tier. Because once you get to 5, you graduate and you get kicked out, so to speak. So that you graduate out. So it's only designed for Tamir or for Sharon to train you personally. It's going to be Sharon personally training you on to getting to 5 agents on your top tier, so that you can successfully open tier 2 and have the potential to make, even if we took it in half, we took the 100,000, but let's just say anywhere from 25,000 to 100,000, right? So, but that's still nice money, nice extra cash to have coming in as a passive income that gets paid to you as deals are closed on a monthly basis. So guys, this isn't profit share. This is revenue share. There's a huge difference. For those of us who came from like a KW model, profit share was dependent on what the market center was doing. That is totally different than a rev share situation. If your people close a deal, you're going to get paid on the 15th of every month. So that's super cool. Which leads me in to another exciting, well, it's talk about things organic and growing. Everyone's got the app on their phone, right? Or on their tablet. Is everyone utilizing the Real app? Okay, if you're not, you got to get it, because guys, this is where everything is now beginning to be housed from our marketing, our design center. All of it is in your app. It's also on your desktop within, Bolt. You can get that there, but that's where you're going to want to utilize that platform. Go to the drop-down screen, go to the marketing center, get all of your collateral pieces, everything you need. But what I love is that app is now Pratesh, our tech officer, is building that out so that it is as robust as you could ever hope to get. Like everything you need to do a transaction, to get a marketing piece, to ask Leo, the AI, our chat bot, what you need. When am I closing on 123 Main Street? What is the status of 123 Main Street? Where do I find this marketing piece? Who, they're working on a directory. Who do I have in Northern California? Who do I have in San Francisco? What agents? And it'll pull up a list. They're working on that. So I've got something in the chat. Let's see what we got. Let's say, yes, just sent someone my link. Join me at Real, offers flexibility. Yeah, cool. Cool. Maria says she just sent someone the link, and that's where you're going to find your join link, is in the app. So when you're in conversation with someone and they raise their hand, that's how you're going to start the process of joining. It says invite an agent. That's where you're going to send that out. It's going to send that link that says, hey, I'm excited to have you join me at Real. I forget the verbiage exactly, but that's the app. Our technology piece is second to none, guys. And that's a great conversation to be having with other agents. that our tech piece is outstanding. It gets better every day. Like I'm blown away with what we're doing. It just gets better and better and better. In that regards, for those of you who were at conference in San Diego in October, Dre, our marketing chief, she launched or kind of debuted all the new marketing pieces off the hook. I think we're doing marketing, we're doing tech at a level that no other real estate a brokerage is doing right now. And that makes having conversations so good. So what did Maria say? Often compare Real to Apple. Yeah, innovative. Yeah, absolutely. The innovative piece is so good because we're taking the industry to a new level, and that's so cool to me. So any questions around specifically around the app as you've been in it? Any questions? Okay, cool. Okay, I also want to just make sure you're aware. Does everyone understand how co-sponsoring works? How you can co-sponsor with people? If you want to collaborate and attract someone in, you can utilize co-sponsoring. So like if Gary and I might get together and say, hey, you know what? I got a guy, not that this is not going to be a big stretch, but let's just say this. I'm in San Diego, you're in Orange County. I got a guy in Orange County. He wants somebody that's closer. Would you co-sponsor with me? And so Gary and I co-sponsored this guy, and he acts as half a person in each of our rev share. So just imagine half of anything you're getting, they set as half. But they're getting the best of both worlds. They're getting Gary, they're getting me, they're getting whatever that agent needs. Like oftentimes, let's say someone in Texas or another state, and they want to join Real, but they want some boots on the ground support, then we can reach out to other people in different states and collaborate. So the co-sponsorship is a great way to collaborate and to help grow the company, but really do it in a high level that works so well for the agent, because we always want to make sure that we're creating the best experience for our agents. And that includes the agents that are potentially coming in. So we announced at the end of the year, Willable Rev Share. So guys, in your app, if you haven't named a beneficiary, be sure and do that. So that's Willable. That is a huge thing. And the Real Signature's up and running. So within the app, you can utilize like a DocuSign, but it's through Real. So that's another great benefit. They're about to launch, they're telling us this quarter, the new consumer app. So guys, this is going to be the app that's out facing for our consumers that you can share with your people, but it's branded to you and it's linked to you. So let's say Wendy's got a client that she's kind of in conversation with. Hey, let me send you my app. It's gonna have connections back to me, so you can communicate with that client, and it's gonna have capabilities of searching MLS in the area. So like if they're driving down the road and they see it for sale, they can pull it up right there and say, oh, that house, I like this house. Wendy, send this to your agent. So then she can be in communication of what they're looking at. She can see what they're looking at. So that's going to be a big tech piece for us marketing forward, agent facing. We've got a new tool now, just looping slightly back to RevShare. If we're in an attraction, we've got a wealth building tool now within the app that allows you to plug agents' numbers in so they could see what they could have potentially earned at Real. So those are really smart tools that we can actually help agents see real deal live. Like, hey, I made this at KW last year. We can plug those exact numbers in and show them real time what they could have earned. And with the different cap, with the rev share, with the stock awards, the whole 9 yards. So those are important tools. Guys, there are so many tools. I can't even possibly get to every one of them today. But what I would invite you to do is to dive deep on the app and just start exploring. But those are two newer ones that I love. the new consumer app, I am just so excited for. We also are now offering health insurance, health benefits for agents. I know here in California, we have the option to be a part of a group policy through our real es- our real estate association in California. But a lot of states do not. They do not recognize realtors as a corporation or a group of agents. So this healthcare for a lot of agents is really big. Comparatively, because I get my insurance through our association in California, it was actually $300 cheaper to go with our benefits. I'm like a creature of habit, so I stayed. But that's not to say that won't change in the future. But anyway, that's a huge benefit for agents.
We actually had an agent on our team take advantage of this already, and she had posted in one of our Slack channels to the team that she was able to save quite a bit of money.
Awesome.
So it's really worth looking into for all you agents out there that need health insurance. Check it out.
Absolutely. And thank you for that input. And
Yeah.
I do know that there's a lot of different level of policies. So you can gear it to how much you want to spend, how much coverage you need. So I know they were offering a wide variety of products. So that's great. And that's something that we just as realtors have not had availability, like, had that option to take advantage of. So that's huge. So that wraps the latest and the greatest. I'm double checking my notes, but I think that's it. But any questions? And I know we had 30 minutes and we're right at that time, but do we have any questions? Do you have any questions for me? Not, doesn't have to be about the app, but just generally, anything that you've had come up about Real, I'm happy to answer.
Quick question, I just missed it, was
Yeah.
that app that's coming up, that's for the consumer app. When did you say that was going to come out?
They're telling us, Gary, first quarter. So we're in it. So they said first quarter, first of second. So I think we're maybe a few months away, but I'm super excited about that because I don't know if we've got any KW people here. I was with KW for many years. They did have a fantastic consumer app that had the IDX, so they could, and that was so powerful. Like you could drive down the street, the consumer could just pull up that listing. It didn't have to be real and say, "Oh, I love that," and look through the pictures and then send it to Gary, send it to Wendy, send it to me, and say, "I want to see this house." And then that way you're serving that client at the highest level, and it keeps it connected back to you because it looks like Wendy sent the app. It looks like Gary sent the app. So it's going to be really powerful, and I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
I know also we've been asked this 1,000 times, at least me. They're working on a directory piece for the agents. So we know where everyone is because right now, I mean, I know where you guys are and y'all know where I am, but like generally speaking, it like even on our profiles, you have to put in like in your bio, like where you are, because it otherwise doesn't say. But if someone's looking to refer in Southern California, we're looking to refer in Dallas, Texas, we'll be able to pull up an agent list of, the areas, which I think is going to be so powerful because like right now I'm in conversations with an agent that's looking to join. They want to know who and how many people are in Ventura County. And I don't actually have that information. Jason and I have to compile it. So we're getting that information to them. We just don't have it readily. So that's going to be a super, super helpful tool. So Brittany, yes, that would be a great app. Great to know. Yes.
Reagan, when is that feature going to be available or announced? The directory.
That I don't know. I think it's in beta right now because I got some link to it. And I think there's some glitches because it has me in another state. But anyway, I think they're working through all that. So Jennifer, remember you can currently do this with your Real Scout app. Okay, give us a little insight on that.
Yeah, so right now we currently have, we're using Real Scout for our home searches. And it sounds like it's very similar to what you're going to be able to do with your client-facing app that's coming out at the, first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. They can send this app to their clients, and it has that capability for them to be able
Excellent.
to tap into that now.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you for
remember, you
sharing
have
that.
that to use until this other one comes out as well. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Let's see. Wendy, I've been using Workplace to find out state agent referral. Yeah, that's really been our main resource option, is to go into that state group. And we have a referral group, guys. So within that, in our Workplace, there's a referral group, and you can go post referrals, and people, all states are involved in that. It'll just be nice to have, so we know where everyone is, because you might be running and say, hey, I need someone in Dana Point specific. And you could just look it up and know, oh, Reagan's there, John's there, whoever, Janet's there. There's people there, and we can just, be a little more direct with the resource, with the outsourcing of referrals. So it'll be great. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Last October at Rise, Sharon made an announcement that the Real would be coming out with a credit card. Any idea when that will be launched?
Okay. Great question, Ruth. And yes, he did announce that at Rise, the wallet and the credit card. I have not heard specific dates on that, but I do know that that's currently in the process of rolling. So, to be continued. So I'll keep an eye on that, and I'll let Siri and the team know what that looks like if I find some things out, and we'll pass that information. I just don't have it right now. Sometimes they don't give us exact dates when they don't know the exact dates. So I know that's in the process. But it's going to be super cool, because for those of you who don't know, the credit card is going to allow us to use that to get points, and then we can use points for different things. And the credit lines are going to be based on your production. And so it's going to be a really cool thing. It's something that no other, that is not being done widely in the industry. So it'll be really cool. So Ruth, I'll keep y'all posted. I just don't know.
Thank you.
You bet. Any other questions?
All right. I think that's
Okay.
it. I've got one last question for you, Reagan. The training you
Yes.
mentioned at 3 p.m. Today you said is the first one of the new year. Where do they find that training? I'm going to push that out to everybody in case anybody wants to join that. Is that in the Workplace?
Excellent. It's in Workplace. It's called, we just kind of changed the name. It used to be called 8 Ways, but now there's more than 8 ways. So we've just decided to call it How to Earn Income at Real. So
Okay. Perfect.
Kimberly and I teach that today at 3 p.m. Pacific, and that's through Workplace. You can go there and get signed up, and jump on the call. It's really useful. We go through a lot of what we talked about today, but we give examples and really expand on the idea of all the ways you can earn income at Real, and how to have conversations with agents.
Amazing.
Cool. Well, it was so good to be with you guys today. And just to shout out, since we're being recorded, happy birthday, Siri.
Yeah.
I hope she's out doing something really fun today. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
Really
It's always a
appreciate
pleasure
it.
to see you guys and be here.
Thank you, Reagan.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.